Hello and welcome back to the final video in this sort of introduction to lordosis curing or treatment or whatever you want to call it. This video we're going to talk about another one, so another muscle that contributes to lordosis, and I say again it's another one that sort of arches the back and pull. This time it's pulling the back of the hip up. So if you can remember from the first video, you had those red and orange muscles. So the orange ones were the glutes on the back here, and then you had the red ones, which were sort of in the lower back here, and another orange one on the front, which is the abdominal wall really, and also another set of tight ones, so the hip flexors, which are the psoas and the rectus femoris, which we talked about in the last video. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about the one that's pulling the back of the hips up as opposed to the front of the hips down. So this is another one that needs to be stretched out for us to be able to sort of realign our pelvis and correct our lordosis. It's this muscle here, and it's the latissimus dorsi, or dorsi, however you want to call it. And it runs from this area here, which is the thoracolumbar fascia, sorry, and the lower part of the back here, and it runs all the way up into the back of your arm bone here, your humerus. So it runs all the way up into the back of the arm. But what this one does is, as I've mentioned, it pulls the back of the hips up. So again, it's another one of those contributors. So if you're just stretching the front of the hip out, as good as that is, you need to be able to stretch. You need to be stretching this muscle to also sort of counter it, because if you're not stretching this muscle, the back of the hips won't drop. You might be loosening the front of the hips, but the back of the hips won't drop, and you'll still have your lordosis. So you need to be stretching the muscles on the front and the back of the hips. Okay. Well, that kind of brings us to the end of this. Obviously, this is not the complete guide. This is just sort of an introduction to it. So if you want to research it more, you can obviously visit my website, christopherhole.com. You can check out Google, whatever it needs to be. And yeah, I hope it's been helpful. I'll speak to you in some later videos. Alright, my name's Christopher Hole from christopherhole.com. I'll speak to you soon.